Okay, it's stream. So we're back to this today?
Yeah, just figure I'll finish this up.
Okay. Here's the picture. Yeah, we have a picture.
Okay.
And I'm in the live chat. Derpy Freedom says hi.
Hello.
Blue Axolotl's here. We have a whole bunch of friends. Do Stuff Girl says hello.
Hi, Do Stuff Girl.
Bethany's here. Dalton says good morning. Brazen Hearted says hi.
Hello.
We have hello from Germany. Good morning from the Philippines. Painted Planet says yes, I'm early.
You are.
Clown says hi from Turkey. Colleen says good morning to you. Steph Nerd is here and says good morning.
Hey, Steph Nerd.
Zoe says good morning to all and to all a good night. How's it going, Scott? It's been a while since I got to join, so I'm glad I could catch you today. Sending love from India.
Oh, well, we're happy you're here.
Get on Base says hi from Dubai.
Hello.
I see Draw says good morning. Good morning from my AP Chem class. Don't get in trouble. How did he get Tiny Glade? I thought it was in development.
I reached out to the creators, and they let me. If you look at Monday's live, you'll actually watch me play with it. And the creators, Tom and Anna, were there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I took some screenshots, and I thought I would add them to my sketchbook because I think they're great for lighting and architecture and everything else.
Let's see. Gail says good morning from California. Wacky Watercolor Wednesday. Do you think you'll be incorporating one of your Tiny Glade screenshots into your next large piece? Says Gail.
I don't think it'll go that far, but definitely want to explore it more. I think I love the wonkiness of the world. The buildings and everything are not. They're not using straight lines. It's really, really great. So I think it'll keep you from making your stuff too realistic. Let me see. Yeah, I think I'll go with this one. All right, I got one more to do. Let's see.
We are doodling Tiny Glade in Scott's travel journal this morning. Hi from Montana. Hi from Croatia.
Hello.
Sending love from England. Chopped Lettuce says good morning. Good morning from Texas.
Good morning, good morning.
Denmark is in the chat. Sweden's in the chat. Lula's here from the Tea Foundry. She's got some rain going on today.
I'm just going to
Belgium.
Get the general shapes out, and then I'll show you which ones I'm working from. The screenshots.
One Up Girls here with Rachel. Good morning, friends.
Good morning.
I'm making a dragon puppet.
Oh, that's great.
Hello from Paris. Good morning to the City of Light. Hitomi says, good morning. Watching this stream on my small phone stream since I'm in the office today.
Oh.
Warmer temperatures for Iowa today, finally.
Yay. All right, let me show you.
Aka loves the details on the nutcracker on the opposite page.
Oh, thanks.
Saroja says, good morning.
So this is the...
What kind of supplies will you be using this morning?
Watercolor and ink. So this is the screenshot for this top one. Can you guys see it okay?
Yes.
And then I'm using this one for this bottom one, which is more of kind of a ruins. And then this is the one I'm doing for the middle one, which I kind of felt had a little more castle vibes.
This is the travel sketchbook. We are traveling to Tiny Glade today.
Yes. So I'm going to do...
They want to know what pencil you're using right now.
I'm using the... Was it Caretaga or whatever, Advance?
I think it's Caretaking.
Caretaking Advance with the Studio Ghibli art on it. Yeah, Kurotoga. Uniball. Kurotoga. Donna gave it to me. There's a video on it. So I'm going to do this one. This is the little screenshot that I took. And
so we're going to be using the typical watercolor ink, and Scott's going to sketch in pencil today.
yeah. So how's everybody's week so far?
Yeah, tell us how you guys are doing.
You know, I think I'm just going to go straight to inks since it's just a doodle.
Good morning from Brazil. I watch every live.
Oh, thank you. We love having you here.
Let's see. Good morning from Utah. The game looked awesome. I'm excited to see a painting based off of it.
Yeah.
Anne Marie is here and says, good morning, friends.
Anne Marie.
Hi from South Africa. I'm going to pull out my sketchbook. You inspired me. That's Zach.
Oh, that's great.
That's a great composition. I'm sure it will look like you're with us in a fairy tale.
Yeah, I hope so.
Good morning from India.
So I already know what we're doing for Friday's live, which is Etcher Labs sent me a bunch of sketchbooks.
Oh boy, did they ever.
Yeah, and so we're going to kind of play around with those.
Yeah. I love Art Nouveau. You've really inspired me. I'm going to sketch with you, even though I should probably study. That's Dara. A lot of people are doing well.
Good.
They're busy. A couple of people, one person's out of the hospital, so they're feeling better, which is
glad.
great news.
Yeah.
Oh, Love Life says my journal quotes have been food for their soul. Thank you.
Oh, good.
I'm so glad you're
If
enjoying
any of you
them.
haven't known, didn't know this, but Donna has been doing a daily journal where you can follow along and write a very nice quote every day.
And I'll give you a little spoof on yesterday. I made a mistake in the journal.
Yeah, she did.
I made a
She
mistake.
had to cross it out.
I did. I crossed it out, and I thought, you know what? Everybody's gonna they're either gonna be happy that I made a mistake and crossed it out and kept going, or they're gonna freak out.
Or they're going to make fun of you.
No one's even mentioned it.
Really?
I had like 15 comments or something. Nobody even mentioned it. Not a peep. So it's kind of funny. I thought for sure somebody would catch that. Somebody asked me, "Oh, you changed the ink color again," and I was like, "Okay, you noticed the ink color, but you didn't notice my mistake." So I thought that was kind of funny. What's your most favorite art piece?
The Animal Crackers movie poster.
Let's see. I have a problem with. Oops, the chat just jumped. This person said I have a problem with inking. Oh, there it is. It's too slow for me, and I don't think it should be that slow. And also, I'm scared that I won't get into the art high school, and I'm so sorry for plagiarizing your art.
You're not plagiarizing anything. Everything we do is learning from or copying the people that we admire. So I take it as a compliment. And my art is the same thing. It's a amalgamation of all of the artists that I like. Mm-hmm. And as far as inking, you don't have to do inking. The inking that I do is largely based off of my love from comic books. So most watercolor artists don't do inks. They just do watercolor on top of pencils. Try that if that might be something that you like. And if you look at, I did a collaboration with Nikki, my friend Nikki. She did her channel is just Van Gogh and love yourself. And we swapped. We both did pencil drawings, and then we swapped it. And I inked over her pencils, and she just painted over my pencils because that's what she does.
Yeah. Everybody does it different.
Yeah.
Oh, One Up Girl busted out watercolor tubes this week and made 3 paintings.
That's great.
Oh, that's nice. She's going to mail them to her mom. I love that. Hitomi says, I am going to mail that pencil to my niece today along with Ohuhu markers. I can hear my sister screaming that she has too many markers and pens. Oh, well. That's okay. That's okay.
That's what ants are supposed to do.
That's exactly what ants are supposed to do. Just ask my sister, and then you can also ask Bethany. Her poor daughter has way too many art supplies. Courtesy of yours truly. Just Your Normal says, I'm using a crappy pen that doesn't have a cap that's been working for 2 years. LOL. I don't know what pen that is that doesn't have a cap and's been working for 2 years, but could you put that in the chat, please? I think other people want to know what that is because pens dry out. So if you've got one that doesn't dry out, share with the world. Greetings from Finland.
Hello.
Let's see. They don't like the big open square on your other page because they're like, put something there. Don't waste the paper.
So just so you know, from last Friday's live, I finished this one, and this is what I do in that space: is I will write down what happened.
Yep. Let's see.
But it has been 2 months since we went to Florida, and I still haven't finished it. So just keep that in mind. You are not the only one who has stuff in their sketchbook that they didn't finish.
Let's see.
Please be kind to yourself.
Yeah. Aren't you going to do the Nutcracker? Good question.
I will at some point. I just, life has been so busy.
And unpredictable.
Yeah, and my sketchbook is the least important thing because it is just a little.
It's something that you do for yourself.
Thing I do for myself.
So of course you push it to the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
Don't we all? Let's see. Mods are awesome because they answer the questions.
I want to just point out some things to you. Let me.
A couple of people saw me cross it out, but they absolutely ignored it. That's so funny.
All right, can you guys see this? Okay.
Yes, we can.
So just want you to see.
You should pull it down just a little bit, so it's into the. Thank you, and go a little towards me. Thank you. Perfect.
Look at the lines. Follow the lines. Look at how these are not straight. There, and look at the edge here. Look how it's warped. It's really good if you are doing freehand stuff. None of the lines are straight, which lets you just kind of feel like you can just be wonky with your art. And I think look how beautiful this stuff is, and it's not perfect. And I know it's intentional because I know it's harder to make stuff look wonky.
Yeah, than it is to make it look straight edges.
Digital. Yeah. But all of the lines are a little off. All of the things are very hand-drawn looking. Mm-hmm. And so I just want you to just keep that in mind that your stuff, when you're doing architecture, does not have to be perfect lines. In fact, it looks it has more character when it doesn't. I was showing Donna a video from an artist that I like who does these wonderful little sketches in his sketchbook. And the motorcycle tire that he drew had
wonky.
It was not even close to a circle. It was like flat, 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 and it looked great.
Yeah. Not a style that I particularly love, but it was done very well. A little bit of caricature in it, and that doesn't thrill me too much. But in spite of the fact, I mean, it really was done well. Let's see. V2V loves your stuff and says good morning from India, even though it's night there. Ryan says Tiny Glade huzzah. I want to play that game, but I don't have Steam.
Well, it's not out yet, and Steam is free.
Summer. It's coming out in summer.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So my son Logan and I have been playing Enshrouded on Steam, and it's actually pretty good. We've been enjoying it.
Do you ever find that after you do a piece, you just have to go back and stare at it over and over again? You just love it so much.
Um, every once in a while, I get that. Usually in the bigger pieces, like the Gothic Vampire or the Dragon piece. I find that I'm still like for the Gothic Vampire, I'm still at the trying to find something wrong with it stage.
Oh God, are
Uh,
you kidding?
yeah, because it's like we get the proofs in from the printer today, and
You mean the
so
dragon, not the Gothic vampire?
yeah,
You
yeah.
said Gothic vampire.
Okay. No,
That's
sorry.
why I was like,
Yeah.
really?
No, no, no,
Okay.
no. Sorry. I meant the dragon one because it's still fresh. But
That's why you confused me.
yeah. But once it's printed, there's nothing you can do about it. So I think I've just on this hyper vigilant like I feel like there's going to be this glaring thing that's going to be obvious to everybody once it's printed, and I'm going to feel horrible. But
Oh, brother. This is what I live with every day, people. Constantly. Oh, Erica's here. She's dropping in while at work and says good morning and big hugs.
good morning.
Bill wants to know what your favorite medium to work is.
This one, which is watercolor and inks.
Let's see. No. I was hoping somebody would say something about it. I got Dalton hooked on the 1995 Pride and Prejudice series, and my work here is done. There we go. Hey, Battlebrooks is here.
Hey, Battlebrooks.
They join when they can. Nice to see you. And they're sending much love. Well, we send it right back. Let's see. Moon cheese. Okay, so I have a question. I think I have autism because I have a lot of signs and traits that show that I might be, and I don't know how to tell my parents. How would you say that to them?
Um, it's not cheap to get tested. Um, one thing you might do is ask the school counselor, and they might be able to do testing in the school, and then that would then lead you to be able to, like, if they see that, then they can recommend to your parents. What do you think, dear? Is that a good?
I think that's a great way to go. Yeah. I think that's a very smart way to go. Testing is not cheap. They might not be in the U.S. If you're outside the U.S., a lot of other countries, your medical system is different than ours, and they're quite better than ours as far as that goes. Yeah, I would definitely do the school counselor first, and see if they can recommend that to your parents. That's a good way to go. Are the mods are 100% correct? Scott's using a zebra brush pen, and he loves them.
I do.
Too bad we're not sponsored by Zebra. Would save me a lot of money. I'm a new artist and would like to ask what would be your favorite medium to work with?
The one I'm currently working in is my favorite. I'd love to learn to sculpt at some point.
So just for the record, we'll go over this one more time. This is Scott's travel sketchbook. He is doing Tiny Glade right now that we did the video, or we did the live for that on
You can
Monday.
see Monday's live. You can watch me build these buildings
Yeah.
or scenes.
Yeah. So Steph Nerd just started with pencils. Hold on a second. Scott, I just started sketching in pencil on the sketchbook I got back in October, but I'm using the sketchbook.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm glad it went to a good home.
I have a ton of pages in my sketchbook that are unfinished art. That's Sukma. That's okay. That's all right.
So I could imagine sitting here, let me show you real quick.
Wow, lovely Prabo got found Windsor and Newton in Sri Lanka. Good for
Wow,
you.
that's great. So I could imagine sitting, it's 78 degrees, a little tiny breeze, and I'm sitting here in the shade, you know. The sheep are walking by, and I could pet them as they go by. And I'm just sitting here sketching.
If he could live in the fantasy world that he would build, he would do that. He would do
live
that
in dreamland.
100%. Yeah. I got the better end of that deal, Miss Bethany. Let's see. I don't know if we've ever seen... Have you ever seen the painting The Hesitant Bride?
It doesn't strike any...
Yeah, it doesn't ring any bells for me either. Zoya wants some tips on how to recreate it for a project, but we don't know what that is. If you have a little more details, let me know. Maybe it'll conjure up a memory somewhere. Let's see. Let's see. Can you play Steam on a MacBook Pro? They're going to try to make that work. They have to do some additional plugins for that. That's what they said on Monday. I'm hoping they can because it looks so cute and I have a MacBook and I want to be able to play it. So we're going to be live again on Friday. Our live schedule's Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 9 a.m. Barring any major complications or, I don't know, us being busy doing something else or whatever. Colleen finally created art, a mixed media portrait of my brother-in-law's working border collie, which will be for his retirement party.
Oh, Colleen, I'm sure he's going to love
watercolor and colored pencils. Good for you. Do you schedule your art time? I have difficulty claiming time for myself. Oh, this is Obi Mom Kenobi. You're a mom.
For me, art is kind of my job, and so I have to schedule other things around my art. But when I was doing, like when I was working in video games or when I was working in animation, I would schedule art time after dinner. I would just find time to just, after dinner, instead of going and watching TV, I would go and I would listen to, something and just draw.
Okay. Zoya, I have the painting from Steph Nerd because our mods are just that awesome. Tips on how to recreate it for a project. You give us some more parameters on the project and then I'll show Scott the painting. How's that? Because I have the painting here because, again, Steph is just that awesome. So, what are the parameters of your project? How do you need to recreate it? And then we'll go from there. How's that? Let's see. Anybody who's asking just for generic tips, try the Art Hacks playlist and start there. There are about 1.5 bajillion videos, and that should give you a good place to start. Santa has joined the live.
Hey, Santa.
And says, happy day, everyone. Good morning. How are you, Santa? How's Mrs. Claus and all the little elves? We've moved into February. Oh, and I don't know if you guys are watching Santa. He's been painting. He's doing a series on inspirational people, and he's going through the alphabet with inspirational people.
Yeah, yesterday was Chadwick Boseman.
Yep. And so you check, and he did Betty White. Guys, give him a follow on YouTube and check him out. Check out the paintings that he's doing. They're absolutely stunning. Santa is quite the artiste. Let's see. I really hope they add other animals to that game, like horses, cows, and stuff. I'd love to see some bunnies. I think that would be cute. Little bunnies running around the game. Let's see. Sculpting is very fun. It has more options and flexibility than just drawing. Let's see. Steph, it would be nice if Zebra Brush Pen sponsored you, and also if they made the pens available here.
Yeah.
I know. Can we make the pens available worldwide? Because we have a big audience everywhere. People need to be able to go there.
Oh, come on.
I'm working on a purely palette knife oil painting for my painting class. Any tips?
Oh God, that would be
Talk to Bethany.
Bethany, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, Obi Mom, I'm the oldest female in a house of 7 family members. My daughter's family live with us. It's hard to find the time with all the work. Okay,
Yeah.
that needs to be a divide and conquer. If your daughter's family is living with you, then everybody, unless they're super tiny, and even if they're super tiny, they can still help clean up because you deserve to have time for yourself
Yeah.
to paint and
And
do art.
the best thing you can do
or whatever you
is
want.
advocate for yourself. I know a lot of people do not want to be a bother. They don't want to say anything, and then that sits with them, and they get upset because no one has offered to help out. Please advocate for yourself.
Are you
Please say,
speaking from experience?
I'm speaking from experience. Please say the words, I need time. I need you to
I need
handle
help.
this. I need help. I want to take an hour a day, 2 hours a day to do this. This is my time, and can I have that? And
No, it's not can I have that. It's I need this time.
yes, but
Not can I have it.
Can I have some help?
Yes.
So that way I can have this time is what I'm saying. But advocate for yourself, everybody. You do need to speak those words. Don't assume that people are going to pick up on the signals. Don't assume that people are going to know better. You have to advocate for yourself.
And you deserve that time. Don't feel guilty for taking time to read a book or sit quietly and draw or whatever you need time to do, because you're going to be a better person if you give yourself that time to be creative, to enjoy yourself. You will not mind as much giving to others if you give something back to yourself. It's really important. Even start here's a suggestion, because Scott's speaking from practical experience, because hello, it's me, right? So let's just throw it on the table.
It's me.
I'm the problem. Yes, I am. We all know this, and I don't care. Start with 30 minutes. Everybody can find 30 minutes. If the laundry doesn't get done, if something doesn't get cleaned up, if something doesn't get put away, it doesn't matter as much as it's not. It's not going to come crashing down. It won't. It doesn't matter. Give yourself 30 minutes and start with 30 and then 45 and then an hour. But give yourself that time. You deserve that time.
All right, before I paint, I'm going to do all the inking. So I'm going to ink the next one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to ink. I think I can ink all of them. I don't think I'm going to be able to ink and paint all of them in 90 minutes. But let's see.
Let's see. Can he do it? Should we take bets on this? He was able to play Tiny Glade because he reached out to the creators, and it was a beta, and he gave them feedback. How long on average does a zebra brush pen last?
I've never run out of ink with one. I always the nibs, the tips will wear down to the point to where I'm not happy with it. Long before I've run out of ink.
Yes, excellent. Please look at the the Scott's Mosaic video. I love that. Thank you, Bethany. Let's see. Oh, fireflies at night would be great in Tiny Glade.
I can't say if they don't have it because I just haven't worked in
the nighttime version. Yeah. Okay, the fine liner is a zebra brush pen. Jordan Smith Studio says rest is just like refueling a car, 100%. And making sure the oil's changed and making sure you're doing the proper tune-ups. Yeah. 100%. Obi Mom says, I wish you were my pep talking neighbor. Well, I'm your pep talking, I don't know, voice on the live chat telling you deserve time for yourself. Been there, done that. Don't follow my lead and don't avoid taking time for yourself. It's more important to do that. I'm terrible at advocating for myself. You know what? We all are. Especially moms and caretakers. People who are caretakers always keep giving until they don't have anything left to give, and then we blow like a volcano, and that is not a good way to be. We need to take time for ourselves first so that we don't blow like a volcano. It is at Santa J. Claus. That is his YouTube channel. Go give him a follow. And you can watch, today's Wednesday, so he's going to be live tomorrow. Santa, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, you're going to be live tomorrow as well. I know you're very busy, even on the off season from the holidays. So I don't want to presume, but I'm assuming that you will be live tomorrow. Let's see. My cat. Oh, chopped lettuce. I'm sorry about that. One day at a time. Just one day at a time. Ooh, blonde hair? No. Gray hair, I have. Blonde hair? No, I do not have. Ellen's arrived in the chat.
Hey, Ellen.
Good morning, friend. Oh, gosh. We send the prints off and they get printed. That's how they get made. The printer
Yeah, we
works.
don't have elves like Santa.
Yeah, the printer works all the magic. What are your views on AI-generated art currently?
I've made a couple videos on it. I think what it's capable of doing is amazing. I think the fact that it's stealing without the permission from the artists is not amazing.
Aw, my voice is irritating somebody. Sorry about that.
Welcome to my life, friend.
Yeah. Guess you'll just have to live with it. Sorry.
No, they get to turn off the channel.
They do get to turn off the channel. That's everybody's prerogative. You, however, there's no off button. And God knows you've tried. Love Life says, the best metaphor I've ever received as a caretaker: when the oxygen masks drop in a plane, you put the mask on yourself first, then your children and family. If you don't, you won't be there to help them.
Yeah.
100% correct. 100% correct. Let's see. What time is it? Well, it's now.
It's around 9:40, I would think.
It is. It's 9:38. You are correct.
Basing it
Hey,
on-
Scott, how do you teach yourself art? I look at your tips and a lot of videos by other artists.
I teach myself gouache or whatever by just doing a bunch of small paintings. So if I want to get better at drawing, I do a bunch of small drawings. Draw the world around you. Do not draw from memory. Do not draw from your imagination if you are learning. Okay, you're going to learn by observing.
Aw. You guys are sweet. Salted Peanuts is doing a different idea in which the tiny Glade farm is on a boat and sailing at sea.
Oh, that's cute.
And they're having fun with it. Good for you. That's very cool. Leon says, hey, Scott, I painted/drew 31 portraits in 2 months using different mediums, and I feel like I have learned a lot.
That's fantastic.
That's great. What are your thoughts on big companies like Marvel and DC stealing money from creators?
I've never seen them steal money from creators. I've just seen them not pay creators. Like I've never seen them, go to a small creator and say, stick them up. But my friend Marv Wolfman created Blade, and he had the rights to Blade. He had a contract from Marvel saying that he owned the rights to Blade, and they just went and made a movie without him. And when he tried to sue, they basically fought him by just waiting till he ran out of money, till he couldn't sue anymore. And that's how a lot of these big studios work, is they don't have to be right.
No,
They
they
just
don't.
have to be
hold out.
be able to hold out and out lawyer you. It's never really a matter of right and wrong. And
Nope.
that's the sad thing.
And we have practical experience with that.
Yeah.
When choosing a light source, how would you know to reflect light with bright objects?
That's if you heard me say draw what you see, that comes from that observation. By drawing a lot of things, whether it be a salt shaker or a pot of, or a kettle or something like that, you're seeing reflected light in different situations. Reflected light isn't there in every situation, and so it's kind of like the artist's version of street smarts. You've been through that. You've drawn that before. You've seen that. And so you know when there's going to be bounced light and when there's not going to be bounced light. And that's really what it comes down to is taking the time to draw 1,000 things so you've got that practical experience to know when there's going to be the bounced light and when there's not, and how light and shadow works.
I would like to know what you're drawing because I just got here and it's so good.
Oh, thank you. This is, if you go and look at Monday's live, I had got a chance to try out the video game. It's in beta mode of Tiny Glade, and we built some of these little homes or castles, and so I thought I would put them in my sketchbook.
Let's see. Santa says, Mrs. Claus and the elves are doing well. Yay! It has been a busy week. Aren't all the weeks busy? Yes, I'll be live streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow is the letter D. Excellent. And do we have any sneak peeks on who we might be interested in doing for the letter D tomorrow? Hastaria is having problems drawing pine trees.
Oh, yeah.
Thoughts, comments, questions?
For me, whenever I've done pine trees, it's very impressionistic. Let me see if I have any in here. Let's see. Well, I guess technically a Christmas tree is a pine tree, right?
Yeah, it is.
You know? Let me see.
Speaking of Santa.
But if you look, my trees are very soft, very generic. Yeah, I don't have any pine trees in here. I'm trying to see if I have a... pine trees for me are... like that. They don't have to look great, you know. It's just, but the thing is just look at your photo reference, and if you don't have photo reference, then that might be what's stopping you.
Yeah, you don't want to know about that practical experience thing. That's a long story. We don't have time. Let's see. Oh, Santa's going to do Dolly tomorrow.
Oh, gotta love it.
Inspirational people. Yes, she is perfect for that. Oh my goodness. Well, now I'm excited. So that's going to be 11 a.m. Central Time tomorrow. So you guys adjust accordingly.
9 a.m. Pacific.
9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, and then add for wherever else you are. Let's see. How do you understand dark and bright spots when you're painting a face?
It's like I said before, it's the experience of doing it so many times. You know, we did figure drawing classes for 3 hours a day in college. I've been drawing for 40 years, you start to know how light and shadow affects a face because you've drawn it so many times. And that's really what you're trying to do is draw so much so that if you had to draw without reference, you would at least have a pretty good idea of what it's like. It's kind of like, when someone says they know this, I know this like the back of my hand. Well, they don't know like the back of their hand for no reason. It's because they've looked at the back of their hand so much. And that's the whole point, is you need to observe faces in all sorts of different angles and lighting situations and whatnot.
Okay. I'm happy 2 million subs.
Thank you.
Let's see. I'm drawing the Nutcracker as a human.
That's great.
It's cute. Let's see. Pine trees are a very less is more type for me anyway. General shapes and some little bits for the pine needles, but don't need much, says BattleBooks. Okay. For the 400 millionth time, please tell everyone what ink pen you're using today.
This is a zebra brush pen, and you can, we've put a couple links on our art supply list, and you can see if they're available where you're at.
Coral Create says, hi, Scott and Donna. I have been friends with someone for a long time, but they have started saying unkind things about the LGBTQIA community and have been rude to me, a part of this group. Any advice?
So when I was 18, my best friend at the time came out to me, and we grew up in the church. And I remember, because that's what I was taught, I remember saying, well, you've got to repent, you're going to go to hell, blah, 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 or whatever. And, he was very adamant that this is who he was. And, and of course I said, you're my friend, I'm always going to love you. But at the time, that was all I knew. And now, as I'm an adult and I know better, and I regret saying those things, obviously. I regret being that naive kid and hurting my friend. And I don't think our relationship ever recovered from that. And the reason why I'm saying that is not to defend your friends. They shouldn't be saying those things, but it's the prejudices or the biases we get come from, our little world of where we grew up and our families and whatnot. And as we grow older, we do hopefully grow, and we learn to love people of all makes and models, and
Makes and models.
I just, on one hand, you need to distance yourself, let them know that that's not right. I've recently told family members who will say racist things or whatever that I don't want to hear that from them. Otherwise, I won't be spending time with them. They're family. And, you're kind of stuck with family, but you need to set some boundaries, and you need to say this isn't right, and I can't be your friend if you're going to continue to do these things. But I would also, just speaking for my 18-year-old self, say if they do wind up one day getting it and apologizing, to have it in your heart to forgive them.
Now, that being said, you do have the right to distance yourself from a person who is toxic.
I'm doing that. I've threatened that to, family members who I'm very close with.
He
And
has. I've heard it.
yeah. So it's just you have to create the space that you feel comfortable in, and you have to let people know, especially if you care for them, that what they're saying isn't right. And like I said, in the case of what happened with me and my friend, I truly believed that what I was saying was to save his soul and to, you know, help him. So nothing he was going to say was going to help me. I just needed the time to grow up. And but in the case of like racism or whatever, that's just not right. You don't need to be around it, and you need to let them know.
Do you have any tips from drawing from imagination? I draw a lot from life and I'm pretty good in realistic and more comic style like you, but I want to start drawing from my imagination.
I'm not very good at drawing from my imagination either, but like I did the October and October series out of my head, and that was really fun. I would say when you're drawing from your imagination, do not try to do realism. Stylize. Let your stuff be cartoony. Let your stuff be fun and loose. Don't try for realism. That's where I think a lot of people get
Hung up?
hung up on. Yeah.
Do you ever lose your mind when you get lost in the inking process?
Lose my mind. Well, I do get lost in the inking process sometimes.
Isn't that one of your favorite things?
Yeah, I especially like if I'm doing hair or something.
That you really love.
Yeah, I just will listen to music and just kind of daydream or whatever, and your hand just kind of works automatically, and I like that.
I like painting, but watercolor has been really hard. Any advice?
Watercolor is chaotic, and you have to let watercolor be watercolor. Don't try to control it too much. That's why I do the ink lines. The ink lines are my control. The ink lines are where I can have some semblance of structure. And then the watercolor is just going to do what it's going to do. So it's kind of like I set up a playpen and some boundaries, and then just let the watercolor play.
Okay. Scott does not use big sketchbooks for his big pieces, big watercolor pieces that he does. He was using Arches paper for that, but it's really expensive. That's my caveat. Let's see. Do you listen to any music when you draw or paint?
I do when I'm not live, yeah. I do.
Let's see. Coral says, thank you so much. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, here it is. Okay. Good luck on your art exam, Rajeshwar. Battlebrook says, as an example, when I came out as trans, part of my coming out was setting the boundary that if they start anything, I will cut contact and block them. I'm not going to burn myself to keep them warm.
Great analogy.
It's true.
I'm not going to burn myself to keep you warm.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, and it's you don't owe them anything. You don't owe them a thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. I need help with my drawing work. I can't figure out who to paint with gouache. I watched all your videos, but I can't figure out how to make it look right. Okay, there's two questions there.
You don't know who to paint?
Yeah, you don't know who to paint, or you don't know what to paint, or you don't know how to paint it. Havoc. So give me a little more on that one. Let's see. Beth says, hi, Scott and Donna. I am very happy today because I got a really good report card and my parents might let me buy your watercolor travel set from Grabby.
Oh, that's great.
How are you guys today?
Good job.
I love how your parents are setting that bar. If you want this, then you have to do this. I think that's funny. It's such a parent thing to do, but I love it. And I love that. I hope that you get to buy that set and you get to make some fun paintings.
Can you guys see this where I'm drawing down here?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good.
We can. Yeah. What is your favorite medium other than watercolor and ink?
It's either gouache or markers and colored pencils.
Hey, Richard's here. He says, good morning, all you beautiful people. It's bright and wonderful today.
Hey, Richard.
How you doing, Richard? Long time no chat type. What gouache do you use?
I like Winsor & Newton gouache, but if you're a beginner, I would recommend the Hemi gouache.
What is your favorite comic, honey?
Growing up, it was Spider-Man and Conan the Barbarian.
Tiny Glade is not out yet. It will be out in the summertime.
Yeah, you can see me playing around with a beta version of it on Mondays Live.
Yeah. Let's see. We are caught up on questions. You guys are quiet today. You're quiet. You know what I loved from Monday's Live? I loved that they were in the chat and they were taking suggestions from everybody. And
the creators.
Yeah, the creators.
Okay.
I'm sorry. The developers of Tiny Glade. I should be a little more specific.
Donna knows what she's thinking, but she
never
never gives me the information to follow along.
I don't often explain that because I've had the conversation 3 sentences ahead in my brain and I'm like, I like this, ice cream is good and whatever. Anyway. Yeah,
Donna will just, we'll be sitting there and she'll go, and that's why I like ice cream. Wait, what?
I've had half of a conversation in my head. Anyway.
And then she says, you just don't listen to me.
Yeah. And he's like, but I didn't hear you say anything. No, you should have heard my head. Anyway, I thought it was very great that the creators of Tiny Glade were in the chat on Monday.
Yeah, it was fun.
And they were teasing a couple of little things and they were, taking suggestions and explaining to you where to find things. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, let's see. What art line would you recommend an aspiring animator to follow? What are you asking? What art line?
Well, I would learn to act because animation is acting. I would also learn honestly, there are schools for it, but also you can just get rigs and just animate and just get really good and show your portfolio around. It's very rare that a company is going to ask you what school you went to or that's even going to matter. They're just going to look at your portfolio. So I would copy animation that you really like. I would copy acting that you really like. I would learn, because the thing that a director or whoever's going to be hiring is going to look for in your portfolio is if you were given audio, how would you act it out? And that's really, I think, probably what casting directors look for too, is how are you, what unique take are you going to have on this writing? How are you going to bring this scene to life? And so really practice that, work on that.
Steph Nerd, Dalton wants to know if the Tombow Fudenosuke brush pens are waterproof. I remember talking to you about these pens. Are they waterproof? Because Scott has not used these. So, but I know Steph has. What brushes are you using for watercolor, babe?
Whichever cheap ones I can get. Currently, I'm using the the Winsor Newton Cotman set.
There you go. Oh boy. Colleen, I have pre-sold 3 tiny Glades, including to myself, and I don't do video games. It was so soothing, satisfying, and the sound effects of the building was the icing on the cake. Sheep, bunnies, and cows.
Yeah.
Colleen, you and me both. I just want them to Thank you, Mr. Clock.
You just want them to...
I just want them to be on a Mac. That's all. Silaster says, hey guys, I'm currently really nervous because I just did something related to art that might very well change the course of my future.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun. It's giving me a really bad case of imposter syndrome. Any tips for that? Okay, king of imposter syndrome, help.
We all have imposter syndrome. The fact that you are suffering from imposter syndrome only means that you are an artist, just like all of us.
I thought you were going to say human.
Yeah, well, human artist. It's totally normal. The one thing you have to do is get used to telling yourself, yep, I'm an imposter. Eventually they're all going to find out, but who cares? I'm going to keep doing it. So you can have that feeling, just don't let it rule your life. Because I wish I could tell you how to get rid of it, you know, and I'm sure there are therapists out there who will tell you, you've got to tell yourself you're good enough and you're not an imposter. But regardless, you're going to have that feeling till the day you die. We always feel like we're never as good as our idols. We're never as good as the people that we look up to. And I don't think that ever goes away. So I've just learned to live with it and go, yep, I feel like an imposter. Yep, I don't deserve to be here. Yep, but I'm here and I'm gonna do it. You know, it's that kind of to say it nicely. You're just going, screw it. I'm here. So if you get this opportunity and if everything is great, feel all of the feels, but don't let it stop you from doing it.
Do it anyway.
Do it anyway. Do it despite that. Yeah. Go, yep, I'm totally shouldn't be here. I'm an imposter. I'm doing it anyway. And just kind of give yourself that bravado to say, look, you know, one thing this is kind of funny because this is a relationship kind of thing.
Uh-oh.
But when we were young, like newly married, there was a guy.
Be nice.
No, there was a guy at work. Donna and I worked at the same company. And there was a guy at work who fancied Donna and would always go out to lunch with her.
Seriously?
No, and
oh God, I was so clueless. I had no idea.
And the other people were like, dude, this guy's totally wants, you know, to you know, take your wife from you, blah, blah, blah. And I just said, look, I said, if he could do better than me, then I didn't do a good enough job as being a husband. And let him try. Let him try. And I think you have to kind of have that same bravado of saying, look, yeah, I got this position, or yeah, I got this opportunity. Other people didn't. So if someone else is capable of it, I'm going to work, but it's not going to be for my lack of working hard. If you feel that imposter syndrome, just work all the harder to prove to yourself and to everybody else why you got that job. But I wish I could tell you how to not have the imposter syndrome.
Just for the record, I had absolutely zero clue. We'll just throw that out there.
I'm going to put a happy little sheep over here.
The game is not available for download yet. Follow Tiny Glade, I guess, in somewhere on social media.
It's yeah.
Are they everywhere?
I put a link in the description of Monday's live.
Great.
So you can follow them on Steam.
There you go. Anne-Marie finishes sentences out loud too. Appreciate you. Never seen Bluey. Apparently I need to watch Bluey. Never seen it. Let's see. Yes, the Fudenosuke pens are waterproof, according to Steph. Thank you very much for that, sweetheart. Appreciate that. Yeah, they are waterproof, so there you go. You have a substitute for the zebra brush pen. Give it a couple seconds, though. And it's the same thing with, like, any kind of pen. If it's going to be a wet pen, just give it a few seconds. I mean, like, don't, like, draw and then immediately put watercolor over it. I mean, give it a little bit, you know? Have you ever tried world building before? Oh, yeah. But only with my son because he loves building things. We used to do some train game where we'd have to like add to the train things. And I don't know, it was a thing. I don't know. I did it with him.
I like world building and stories.
You only like it if you can get a story out of it.
Yeah.
You don't want to just build to build.
That's what I'm saying. Like Dreamland, I like building the world and the lore and the history and the...
Yeah, you like the whole thing, but you want the meat behind it, the story behind it. He'll just build to build. He doesn't care, which is kind of funny. Let's see. Yes, Steph gets the Sakura Sigma pens because they are easier to get where she is. So Tombow Fudenosuke pens, Sakura Sigma pens, zebra brush pens. What if an artist copies my artwork and posts it online without giving credit?
I would be flattered that someone needed to copy your work, and whatever. But B, these things are fleeting. I'm assuming they copied it from what you posted online, and it's not hard to see the original and the date that it was posted. Also, you would have the original. These things happen. My art is copied all the time. Sometimes with permission, sometimes without, but sometimes with reverence and sometimes maliciously. I would spend all of my time chasing all this, playing whack-a-mole, chasing people down and saying, hey, you're stealing my art. And I'm talking people making money off of it, making shower curtains and, this and that or whatever. And my time is better spent making art. And the way that I figure is to put myself and my art out there enough to where enough people know who the original person is. So that's at least my thinking, is just keep making art to where people will start to say to anybody who's stealing from you, hey, I recognize that is this person's art. And because you are putting out such a huge body of work.
Well, even if they're not, Bethany has a good suggestion and says watermark your posts so they can't be easily stolen.
You can do that. I mean, people steal water, they delete watermarks all the time and whatnot, but sometimes people just don't even care. Like I said, if you think that it's being done maliciously, you can reach out to them and say, hey, I appreciate that you're stealing, that you like my work, but can you please credit it, but like I said, people might half the people might say, oh, I'm so sorry, and then do it, or even just take it down. And other people might decide to just ignore you or be mean to you. But then you start going down a whole rabbit hole of arguing with some random person online is not worth your time. I'm very big on putting my time and efforts into something constructive. And
you're also not a litigious person.
Yeah.
So there's that too. You'd rather move on than do anything else. Okay, we have watched Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Have you played Townscaper?
Never heard of it, no.
Do you like Pingu?
I don't. I'm assuming that was that claymation penguin or something?
I do not know. Do you like Arcane, or have you seen it?
We watched the first episode. Our son really liked it, but I didn't watch any more of it.
What kind of advice are you looking for, Nadav, for studying other artists? What exactly specifically are you looking for? Because that's not a very specific question. Give me something a little more specific. Shower curtains sounds strangely specific.
Yeah.
Let's see. People can tell when something is copied. I put signatures on mine. That's mystery truck. Okay. Advice from studying other artists' art and workflow like Lowish.
Okay.
I
I
don't
like
know.
Lowish's work. What was the question?
Do you have any advice from studying another artist's art and workflow like Lowish?
They have a Patreon, and I believe that they give step-by-step guides on their Patreon. If that's something that you want to do, I would pay the money to learn from them. If an artist is saying, hey, look, I'm going to give lessons and show you how I make art the way I make art, and you want to do that, I think that's money well spent.
Oh, here they say, I don't know how to study another artist in workflow.
Okay, what I did was back in 2009, 2010, I decided, 2009 I decided I wanted to learn watercolor. Around 2010, I think I decided I wanted to learn Art Nouveau. And I got a book on Alphonse Mucha, and I just started. I didn't copy his art. What I did was I said, oh, he does these circles. Like he puts his characters in front of a circle to kind of frame them. I'm going to try that. And so I did a piece like that. Okay, now he does this arches for the backgrounds. Okay, I'm going to try that. And I did a piece with that. Okay, for the hair, all of the hair kind of curls, and it doesn't come to a point. It comes to like a rounded edge. Okay, I'm going to try that. And then, okay, I like the way he adds like an outline around his characters. I'm going to try that. And so each little painting that I did, I was observing, and then I was copying. What do I like about this? And how do I copy that? And that's how I wound up learning Art Nouveau. And I think if you like someone's art, you would start trying to observe what is it about their art. Is it the way they draw their faces? Okay, I'm going to copy their faces a bunch. Mm-hmm. Is it the way that they color? Okay, I'm going to try to use their palette. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. Blow dryer.
Oh, hold on. Okay. We have seen many Indian artworks and we do enjoy them. Yes. Hope that answers that question, Nadav. I don't remember if we talked about layering with gouache. Did we talk about that?
I don't think so.
Okay. How do you layer with gouache instead of making it look muddy? It comes out muddy.
I dry each layer the same way I do with my watercolors. That will at least give you like a buffer. I think a lot of artists, they just go wet on wet, and then the colors are going to just blend together. So you saw that I just did a blow dryer, because right now what would be happening is all of that yellow I put down would be bleeding into this blue. But because I dried it first, it's not going to. And the same thing is true with gouache. You do a layer, you dry it. You do a layer, you dry it. And it will not get muddy as easily. Mm-hmm. Blow dryer.
Oh, hold on. Go ahead. Margot, there are so many videos on faces in the Art Hacks playlist. Try that first. And then if you have some specific questions. And Stefner just put in the link to that. Gail says, I am part of Loish's Patreon, and she has an in-depth tutorials on workflow and how she gets inspired, stays focused, etc. They're really great.
That's fantastic.
There you go. Okay, I can't pronounce the first name, but Bloodworth says, do you have any beginner tips for getting better at geometry and architecture? I feel comfortable with natural shapes like tree branches and canopies, but struggle with more structured things.
There's a video I did on perspective, and I talk about how I break everything down into Legos. I would look at that. Blow dryer.
Boy, that's going to be a lot of blow drying. Okay, let's see. Sialister, good luck. You've got this. Nothing. I'm answering things while you are blow drying. They can hear me. Let's see. Apathetic Echo, I want to turn art into a career, but I'm scared I'll start hating art if I do that. What should I do? That's a valid concern.
It is. Art is a passion. It is very hard some days to keep making art. Like I've got to make 3 to 5 videos a week kind of thing. It's a lot, and some days it really does wear on you. And you've seen me take breaks, and you've seen me give myself challenges. I'm going to work in colored pencils. I'm going to do Music Monday. I'm going to do Watercolor Wednesday. I'm going to do the 80s. Hair journal. Sometimes you just have to keep, it's like a marriage. You have to change things up. You can't keep doing the same thing every day. You have to push yourself. I'm going to learn Art Nouveau. I'm going to learn this. I've never understood how people can do the same style their entire life, the same medium, the same art, the same everything their entire life. It's hard for me to comprehend. So I would say if you're going to do it professionally, then I would 100% push yourself to experiment, grow, try new things within your career, within your life.
Let's see. Megan hasn't been able to join for a while, but is back in here today.
Welcome.
Let's see. Jill Doe says, hi, Scott. I'm 14 years old and I love your art, or I love art. You inspire me so much. Thank you for everything.
Oh, thank you.
Margot would like to know what paintbrushes you use that don't shed like a dog.
Synthetic ones. This one is Sablette. It's by Utrecht. I will use, this is Winsor & Newton, Cotman brand. And, I don't like, see, this was a pointed one. Now it's no longer.
You liked the Utrecht brushes.
Yeah, for a bit.
You also liked the Etcher Labs brushes.
I like them until they stop working. And then they're dead to me. Blow dryer.
Oh, no, you're not going to blow dry without this. Go ahead. All right. Let's see. Oh, we did Raji Rava Varma, and Scott's never going to work in oils. He's just never going to happen. He is not an oil painter. That is Bethany Primrose. So that's not going to happen. But we did one of their paintings in 60 Days of Studying the Masters. So we did that for sure. Frankie Roth says, if you want breakdowns of perspective for architecture, Stephen Travers has a great channel on YouTube.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, we do know Percy Jackson. Our son used to read all of his books. Can you make more landscape art? You're watching him make landscape art today.
I think they're saying just, I like this and I want to see more.
I'm just simply stating that you're making
Yeah.
it today. Apathetic Echo says, thank you so much. That's definitely a part of my struggle is pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. I have a fear of failure, so I have a hard time letting my art be bad.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to make bad art, but we have to make bad art to get to the good stuff. So just think of it as exercise. You're going to have bad art, you're going to have bad days, and you just push through.
Do Not Disturb says, hello, I'm an artist and I struggle to find motivation to draw. How are you able to keep motivated?
I give myself challenges. I will do something like 60 Days of Studying the Masters or the Hair Journal or 80s, music. That's really it, is you just have to say, when you don't know what to do, have something you could fall back on. For me, it's like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm just going to paint Severus Snape. Things like that. Have just stuff that you like to draw be that thing that you fall back on.
Would you be interested in illustrating a Batman comic for DC someday?
I don't know if I would ever want to illustrate a comic. I went through that for a while and I tried so many times. And I worked in comics for a bit and I got my shot to do Spider-Man, but I genuinely don't know if I would want to, in this style, do that. I might write, I might write a comic, but I don't know if I would want to illustrate it. Maybe a cover.
Let's see. Nitu says, if possible, please hold a webinar someday teaching us about all of the tips and tricks.
Isn't that kind of like what I do in the lives, or?
Yeah, kind of. What would be the difference? Yeah, I thought that's what we were doing. What are you painting with? Are these watercolors?
Yeah, watercolors, and ink is the line work.
Expired Lemon says, I've been starting to think about what future careers to look into, and I'm not sure if I should go into art. I really enjoy it, but my professional experience isn't super high. Do you have any advice?
Art is something that you can do as a passion. I wouldn't recommend making art your career unless you have no other options and this is just the only thing you're good at. That's what at least happened to me. I'm not very good at other things. Other than that, I would say there are guidance counselors and teachers who can help you with that along the way too. I need to blow dry real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, I could see that was
Gonna move there.
bleed, yeah.
Don't forget to paint a sheep with a tiny hand petting it in one of the landscapes. That's funny. Let's see. I'm a teenager and have recently realized that making things, clothes, drawings, little trinkets, etc., is something that I don't want to have to wait to be able to do with my life. Where can I start?
There's a series I did called Draw Everything Every Day. Take a look at that. Essentially, that's really what you need to do, is just start drawing everything you see. And once you get good at drawing what you see, everything will kind of fall into place. You'll be able to draw cars and cats and, clothing and everything. But you gotta practice drawing everything every day.
Yeah, I think they're talking about that they don't want to wait to do till they get to be an adult to be able to do these things with their life. And I think it's just, you just start doing things one thing at a time.
Yeah.
If you want to
Blow dryer.
make a shirt, if you want to, hold on, go ahead. If you want to paint something, if you want to make little keychains or something, you just start, you just do it. You know, I mean, ask your parents or take some money that you've saved and go to the store and buy some supplies and just start doing things. You know, come up with an idea of something that you'd like to do and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're caught up again. There's only 156 people here, so this is a pretty slow day for us, guys. Yeah. What about starting? Oh, One Up Girls Night. That's a good idea. What about starting an Etsy shop? There you go.
Yeah, you could do that.
You could start an Etsy shop for sure. Etsy takes a lot from creators, but yeah, you can definitely start that. Or if you have some sort of pop-up at, you know, near you, where you can get a booth or you can do something, or maybe there's a festival or something you can be a part of. Something like that. You can do that for sure. You know? Slow day on the questions. Not going to argue. It's been a long week already, and it's only Wednesday, so Donna's not going to argue. School art festival. That's a good one. Shrinky dinks are a fun, cheap way to make silly little trinkets. I love that. We met Bethany Primrose here on...
Actually, it's TikTok.
It was TikTok, you're right. TikTok about 3 years ago. And actually, that's how we met all of our mods. We met them all online, and we have met them in person, and they are wonderful people. Let's see. I'm so happy I got to join your live. Most days I'm not able to because of school. Let's see. My friend does crochet and she sets up booths at markets and craft shows. There you go. Let's see. This was helpful. I love your channel. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe it's just the Tiny Glade vibe. Everybody's just chilling. Anne Marie says, this week's been kicking me around a whole lot. It feels like it's been going on for a month. I would not disagree with that. Oh, is this live stream going to be longer than usual? Because it's 10:27.
Oh, no. I like I said, I figured I can get all the inking done and then, one of these. But I mean, there's so much more. There's like little flowers and whatnot that I could do. But this was always supposed to be just a little
Quick
sketch. Yeah. And so I'm
Looks
gonna
lovely.
keep it that way. Thank you.
No, he's never going to use oil paints, but you can tell them you're never going to use oil paints.
No, I'm not going to use oil paints.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, I'll never say never because I know not to do that, but Donna is not as reserved. She'll say never to anything. I'm never going to eat chocolate ice cream again. I'm never going to...
Oh, honey, I would never say that. We all know that's a lie.
Yeah.
The same way I always say, I'm never going to eat this thing that I know that's bad for me ever again.
So I said, you're a little more liberal with the word never
than
I am.
Zebra click art pens. Nope, he's never used those. I've tried them. They're okay. Better suited for journaling, I think, than for art. Have you ever tried the game East of Eden?
I have not.
It's a walking simulator, but you're an artist capturing the landscape of the game.
Oh, that's cute.
Wow. No clue how long it takes for oils to dry. 100 years? That's why they just stick them on a wall and let them dry. Jordan's been tempted to use the water-soluble oil paints, but I don't think I have the patience to wait for them to dry. What if you're into art as a hobby but not looking to do it as a job? I absolutely love drawing, but I don't want to spend the rest of my life on just art. Could I balance freelance on the side?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is you don't have to sell your art. Genuinely. You can just make art because it makes you happy. Um, it could just be, you don't have to justify making art or spending time making art. There's no reason to say, I'm not an artist because I don't sell my art. You're an artist because you make art. Selling it is irrelevant.
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Van Gogh sold many pieces of art, and he was an artist.
And Steffner says that they would direct the question to Fiber and Brimstone, and I would agree with that because Fiber and Brimstone does art and festivals and shows and all the things in addition to having a regular job. So, which we are most fortunate to have them as a friend. But they make that work. So if that's a question you want to ask, you could probably pose that question to them and ask them how they do it.
All right, so I'm going to call this little sketch done. And remember, this is my sketchbook, so things do not have to be perfect. And, look at this little thing. I didn't put any detail into the trees. It's just there just to say, I just took some time to just make some art. And so I'll finish these when I get a chance to, or never.
Are you going to make me a waffle this morning?
Sure.
I would love a waffle.
And I think that's it. And then Friday, we are going to, I got some Etcher Labs sketchbooks.
Oh, here it goes.
This one is really cool. Look at this.
Do not put that on top of the paint. Please don't.
It's a landscape. It's made for, if you want to do landscapes, but I might use it for something like a hair journal kind of thing. This one is, these are vegan leather. And this one is hot press, which would be really good for gouache.
So pretty.
And this one is cold press, which I'm not very fond of because this is Fabriano paper and it is very bumpy. I don't think it's going to work well with my style with the inking. But we're going to try them on Friday.
I made people want waffles now. Sorry, not sorry.
All right. So that is it.
Thanks for being here with us, guys.
Hanging out with us.
Have a wonderful Wednesday.
And if you want to see me build this stuff, go and look at Monday's live.
Yeah,
you can watch how it was made.
You can see that. And if it's something that you want, you guys can follow Tiny Glade. And I know Steph goes, ooh, that's a pretty one. I know. Every time he gets a new sketchbook in, I'm like, ooh, let me feel the paper. But we'll see you guys on Friday again, right? Friday. Yeah, Friday. Yeah. Okay. So have a great one, you guys. Have a wonderful Wednesday and we'll see you soon. Bye.